Did you know that guilds are already ruining Pax Day? And don't just take this from me, take it from other stories of other players, which I will be sharing with you. Now, I just want to share a very, very quick and simple example of how guilds are ruining Pax Day. Now, I have interviewed a guild with 141 members, and most of them have the 4-plot purchase. So that is 141 times 4. Let's do some quick math. 141 times 4. 564 plots. So what you see is a screenshot from a random player. Let's count the plots. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18. Like, there's at least probably 50 to 100 plots in just this screenshot, right? And this covers a pretty wide, amount of this area, right? So let's say that you are a solo player or you're a duo player, which in the case of I interviewed a guild, I also interviewed a few people affected by this literal guild. I seeked them out and, they gave me their contact info and stuff. And essentially what happened was a mega guild sat down and decided to control a whole chunk of the map. Which chunk of the map? I'm not going to tell you because I'm not going to, dox the guild or anything. But here is a random map of the game, right? A random map of a random part of the game. So, this is all hypothetical, not hypothetical. It did happen. This actually has already happened. But the situation here that I'm going to be painting out on this map is hypothetical. Let's get rid of the text here so you can see better. And let's say the guild, again, how many plots did we say that they owned? Like 500 something. So what, 148 times, well, 592, it's 2 to 4 plots. So anywhere from 2 to 500 plots, right? So let's say the guild is stationed in Jura, and you can see right here that this is like a little mining outpost. This is going to be rarer metals and whatnot, right? So what a guild does is they usually build around these things. That's what the mega guilds do, at least the one that I talked to. They want to build around the dungeons because they want to farm the dungeons. They want to farm the heavy metals. They want to do whatever that thing is. So hypothetically, a guild will set up shop. Let's just say something like, and they're building it along the roads, right? Something a little bit like that, maybe. Let's just say that's the shape of the guild. Kind of looks like the Instagram little icon. I don't know. Not on purpose, of course. So let's say the guild sets up here, and technically, no, the guild actually set up way bigger than this. Way, way, way bigger than this. As a matter of fact, the guild I interviewed had a size kind of looking, let's say a little bit right there. And, right in here, and over right there. And this is kind of what the guild's claims looked like. But it's not so much the plots that are a problem, it's how the guilds play, and I'm going to get into all of that detail. But let's say the mega guild, comes in, and they're owning almost all the land like this. Now, we're going to call the person, the victim of the story, her name will be Susie. Now, Susie is a role player who enjoys games like Star Wars Galaxies with her husband, John. So Susie and John start the game, and we'll paint them in orange. We gotta zoom in more because they're not gonna have much, right? Susie and John they want a little lakeside house, so they set up their plots about right there. That's their plot, right? Just a little tiny little dot on the map. That's about all they can have. They have the 1-plot account. And I think John had the 2-plot account. So they have 3 plots to share amongst each other. They're not in a guild. They're just a little duo, husband and wife duo. So that's their plot. And in the black outline is everything that is controlled by the guilds, right? That is the guilds, building their own little houses and plots and stuff. Not all of this is walled off, but a lot of it is. Now, Susie and John, like any good player, they want to go out and they want to adventure. So Susie and John will mark their path in blue. They want to go mine some metal, but so they want to mine some good metal. So they have to go here to this thing to mine the good metal. Well, it turns out that the guild, and we'll do this in red, has built walls all around this. And you can do this in the game. They built walls completely around it using their massive plots and influence and resources. So the way this guild gets in is what they'll do is they will simply delete the wall, go in and mine it, and then they will rebuild the wall. That way no one else gets it. It's only for them. And these resources, I've started to time how long the resources take to respawn. It's quite a while. It is quite a while. It is not instant. It is not within a few minutes. It's like almost 10 minutes or more. I'm going to probably, if I make guides to this game, if I choose to do so, if the devs will finally shake hands with me and, give out an apology, unban me from Discord, I'll start making guides for the game, absolutely. But for right now, Susie and John can't get beyond the wall. They're basically stuck. And so, Susie and John are like, well, what if we trade? So they go up to the guild and like, hello, Mr. Guild, would you like some, I don't know, honeycombs? And like, nah, we're good. We already got that. Would you like a whole bunch of wood? We just want a little bit of metal. Can you please give us some metal? And they're like, no, we're using it. Well, is there anything that we can farm for you? And the guild's like, no, we got it covered, thanks, though. And so what the guild does now is the guild is starting to get a little pissed, right? Because there's a few other mining nodes. There's like a little mining node like here, maybe a mining node here and here. Now, here's the thing. The big mega guild, right? They have hundreds of members. And so what the members are doing, they're having 3 to 4 people at every iron node 24/7 mining it as soon as it pops up. Well, John and Susie, they still need their damn iron. So what they do is they sit and they chill and they camp the spot. And as soon as the rock spawns, they start mining it. So Susie and John are stealing the iron from the big mega guilds, right? And so what happens is the mega guild's like, you gotta move, bro. We're not gonna accept this. So what the mega guild does now is they're starting to do this. They build a little, plot. They surround their plot, Susie and John's plot. They can't surround them in the water, but you know what they can do? They can just build a bunch of walls. They got a bunch of little plots that they're claiming here because they still have plenty of plots left to claim, right? So they essentially start claiming all the plots around Susie and John, and they just completely wall off Susie and John. So this is all walled off, can't swim across anymore. Okay, this is all walled off around their base. Their whole base, besides the shoreline, is now walled off. So Susie and John, in order to leave their base, they have to swim. If they don't have food buffs, they drown. They can't go over the enemy guild's walls. And what happens is they just abandon the plot. They just completely abandon their plot because they're like, screw this sucks. This is dumb. I don't want to fight over resources. So what they did is they just deleted their characters, Susie and John, and they rolled elsewhere on a whole different server because they didn't even want to share a server with this mega guild. Okay, and so they started on a new server, and they have a peaceful little river village where no one is around them, and everyone's kind of chill. So at the end of the day, Susie and John lost a whole day's worth of playing the game because they got bullied out by a guild. But the guild in question is just doing what it needs to do to survive. So the guild, then, of course, Susie and John's base is decayed. The chests are open. It now belongs to the guild, and so they yoink it right up. And there you go. So that's a guild victory on their part. Now, is this fair? Is this normal? It happens in all types of sandbox MMORPGs. If you've ever played Eve, if you've ever played Albion, you know exactly this type of behavior that happens in what's called, I believe, Nullsec, or the Black Zone in Albion. So, this is actual typical normal behavior. The developers of this game are allowing this behavior. They are gung-ho for this behavior. They want this drama to happen. They absolutely want this drama to happen, all right? And before making the video, I asked Susie and John what they thought about it, and they're already done with the game. They quit because another guild apparently has moved in near them. It's not as big. It's not 140 members big. It's about 60 members big, and started to do the same thing, camping all the iron nodes and the boar spawns. And they were just like, they don't want to trade. They don't like no one wants to trade with them. No one wants to barter. There is no trade system. They put down a whole bunch of trees on the ground, and they told me that the other guild picked it up and then just left and ignored them. And it's like, well, yeah, that happens. There's nothing you can really do about that. That's typical for these types of games. But see, Susie and John come from an era of Star Wars Galaxies back in the day where people were nice and roleplay and social. But these mega guilds, they only care about a few things. And I talked to this guild. I actually talked to this guild. We had a big sit down, and they are actually planning on selling items in the game for people that don't want to spend hours refining. They basically told me that they have people right now that are willing to pay them $10 per 20 iron ingots, and I was like, "There's no way." It only takes an hour to get 10 iron ingots or 20 iron ingots, and they told me that they don't, like, the people that are buying from them are filthy rich in the real world, making 5 to 6 figures a month. They do not have an hour to waste refining iron. They just want to max out their trade skills and then just have that as a trophy, right? And it's like, bro, the game wipes when it comes out. All their grind is for nothing, and they're like, well, they don't care. So RMT, Real Money Trade, is already in the game on day 2 of early access on Pax Dei. That's right. And these mega sweaty guilds, if they start making enough money, you know what happens? Word gets around, and then more guilds will buy into the game and do this exact same treatment until the entire map, and yes, there's 4 maps, 4 servers, whatever. There's more than 4 servers, but you get the idea. Until the entire map is just this. You either join them and work under them as a cog in the machine, or you are basically gate-kept from the content. Alright? And that is how guilds are already ruining Pax Dei. Alright, now, it's not the guild's fault, it's the gameplay loop and the gameplay mechanics fault, really. And if the devs are allowing this, then it's really what the devs want. So at the end of the day, Pax Dei is just another guild game. Another Zerg guild game. I believe a few other creators called this, and I'm already seeing it. And luckily, I got a bunch of my farming in way early before anyone else was able to jump in and wall shit off. And yes, you can wall stuff off. I'm going to be showing, I'm going to be making another video after this one, showing how having 4 plots is absolutely pay to win, and all the things you can do to have an advantage over people that only have the 1 plot, or even just 2 plots. So, look forward to that video. I'm going to go make it right after this one. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think? Do you think guilds are, being just in this kind of thing? Do you think that Susie and John are just relics of the past and shouldn't be playing this game and should go play Animal Crossing or something? Do you think that guilds are in the wrong? Do you think guilds are in the right? Please let me know. I personally don't like guilds. I think guilds are shit. But at the same time, if I had the power and influence, I'd be doing the same damn thing as the guilds. I'm going to admit that right now. I would be controlling the whole freaking map, taxing everybody, and making Susie and John's life a living hell. But unfortunately, I am the Susie and the John. I mean, I'm not, but, like, my girlfriend has no interest in this game at all, and that's fine, she likes the game she likes. But with that said, that's the video. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Also, click the video on the right side of your screen. If you don't, you're gonna drop some hot dogs. Wait, I already did that one, like, a couple weeks ago. One of your lights are gonna flicker out. One of your lights in your house is gonna burn out, so you have to change a light bulb. Oops, should've clicked the video on the right side.